Sanjaya reported to Dhritarashtra, saying, Abhimanyu has managed to break through the first formation. Dronacharya is waiting anxiously to see whether he can break through the second. With a greedy desire for his son Duryodhana's victory, Dhritarashtra asked, Sanjaya, can the Kaurava army at least stop Abhimanyu at the second formation? Sanjaya responded, Your Majesty, even hope must have its limits. Abhimanyu is no child to be easily contained. He is like a tidal surge that crosses the shore and threatens to engulf all the land. He is like a thunderbolt with the power to reduce anyone who stands before his chariot, even amidst the fiercest downpour, to ashes in a flash. Who can restrain a thunderbolt? And now look, he has effortlessly crossed the second formation as well. Hearing this, Duryodhana made up his mind about something and turned to his younger brother Dushasana. Dushasana, if Abhimanyu manages to break into the Padmavyuha, the lotus formation, cross all 7 rings, and then return safely, that alone will seal our defeat. He wouldn't even need to kill us. Simply returning alive would be enough to disgrace us beyond measure. If the whole world learns that a 16-year-old boy entered the Padmavyuha all by himself and got out unscathed, that humiliation would be worse than death. If that happens, there's no need for us to fight another day. We would have to accept this very day that the Pandava army has won. Little brother, we are on the verge of defeat. Unable to bear his elder brother's anguish, Dushasana declared, Brother, just as Arjuna is everything to Yudhishthira, I am everything to you. I will never let you be defeated. I am going now to finish him off. Before he even crosses the 3rd ring, I will slice that fellow's body into pieces and scatter them across every side of the Padmavyuha. Watch now what your younger brother is capable of. With those words, he grabbed his bow and stormed off. Abhimanyu was making his way toward the soldiers in the 3rd ring, displaying his extraordinary valor, when Dushasana angrily arrived in a chariot and blocked his path. The moment Abhimanyu saw Dushasana, he was reminded of all the heinous deeds he had committed, especially how brutally he had humiliated Abhimanyu's mother, Draupadi, in the royal court. Instantly, Abhimanyu thought to himself, "You're caught at last, Dushasana." Seeing Abhimanyu, Dushasana said, "Come, Abhimanyu, forget these petty soldiers. If you have the guts, show your bravery against me, you hero." And at that very moment, his voice fell silent, because in quick succession, Abhimanyu had shot 10 arrows that struck the armor on Dushasana's chest so forcefully that he lost consciousness and collapsed in his chariot. As Abhimanyu moved toward the chariot to finish him off, Dushasana's charioteer whisked him away to safety, saving him from Abhimanyu. Otherwise, Abhimanyu would have killed Dushasana right then and there. Laughing as his foe fled, Abhimanyu called out, "Running away like a coward?" Then he glanced over his shoulder and shouted, "Uncle, do you see how they all run?" But looking back, he was stunned to find that Yudhishthira, Bhima, and none of the Pandava army he assumed were following him were actually there. Where is everyone? They haven't even entered the Padmavyuha, he realized, seeing them all standing outside the formation with disheartened faces and crestfallen looks. Ahead of him, in the middle of the Padmavyuha, Duryodhana's army lay in wait to kill him. Abhimanyu knew how to enter, but he did not know how to exit. Now he wondered, should I go forward or turn back? But in just one moment, he broke free of his hesitation. Hey, today must decide either victory or a heroic death. Even if no one stands beside me, I alone will destroy this Padmavyuha, the Kaurava army, and Duryodhana himself this very day. Saumitra, drive the chariot straight toward Duryodhana, he roared. The reason Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, and Sahadeva, who had come with Abhimanyu, did not enter the Padmavyuha is connected to Saindava, the husband of Duryodhana's sister, Dushala. On one occasion, Saindava behaved disgracefully toward Draupadi. The Pandavas then punished him severely, shaving half his head, and publicly humiliated him in the worst possible way. Filled with vengeance, Saindava performed severe penance and pleased Lord Shiva, asking him for a boon to kill the Pandavas. Shiva replied, "I have already given Arjuna the Pashupatastra. I cannot grant you a boon that would be used against him. However, I can give you the power to completely obstruct the other 4 Pandavas for one day, no matter how hard they try." Saindava used that boon here, which is why Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, and Sahadeva could not follow Abhimanyu into the Padmavyuha. Friends, would you believe that reading just one highly fascinating story could transform a person's entire life? Simply reading that story to your children will teach them the values they need throughout their lives. Could you believe that? Whatever problems you are facing now or might face in the future, you can find solutions just by reading that one story. Would you believe that? Yes, it's possible. Only with the greatest epic ever told in the history of mankind, the Mahabharata. This tale is 100 times more magnificent than any super hit movie. It's a challenge. The full Mahabharata story, written in Vikram Aditya's words, is available in 2 parts as both physical and ebook versions on Amazon and 43 other online stores. It is available worldwide in 54 languages. I have included the links in the description below this video. Order your copies immediately. Because this is not just any book, it is a library of everything your life needs. After Abhimanyu entered the Padmavyuha, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, and Sahadeva were prevented by Sahadeva from entering. Hence, they could not follow him inside. Abhimanyu incapacitated Dushasana and crossed the 3rd ring. As he was about to breach the 4th, Shalya's younger brother confronted him. Killing Shalya's younger brother was child's play for Abhimanyu, yet he did not do it immediately. Instead, he shot a flurry of arrows, first shattering the emblem on his enemy's chariot, then breaking his chariot wheels, destroying his bow, and rendering him weaponless. He peppered his body with arrows, slicing both his arms with well-aimed shafts, and finally severed his head from his body. Throughout the Padmavyuha, he made the Kaurava army taste death. Seeing the way Abhimanyu wielded his arrows, Dronacharya thought to himself, I once believed no archer in this world could surpass me, but seeing this boy, I realize he may well be 10 times more powerful even than Arjuna. Yet, he dared not voice these thoughts aloud, because if Duryodhana heard such words, he might kill Drona in a fit of rage. Still, as Drona watched, a mixture of awe and pride filled his heart at his beloved disciple's son's valor, but fear also gnawed at him. If Abhimanyu managed to cut through all rings of the Padmavyuha and reach the center, he might even take Drona's life. After slaying Shalya's brother and crossing the 4th formation, Abhimanyu was confronted by another chariot rider blocking his path. He was no weakling. He launched arrows at Abhimanyu in spectacular patterns and dodged Abhimanyu's arrows by leaping aside. In fact, he was matching Abhimanyu arrow for arrow. That warrior was none other than Lakshmana, Duryodhana's son. Bravo, Lakshmana! Duryodhana exclaimed to Dronacharya. Master, look at my son's bravery. See how he's leaping and shooting arrows in midair. But the color drained from Drona's face. Looking toward the sky, Drona said, Duryodhana, indeed your son has been shooting arrows while leaping about. Yet now, do you see how his head is about to come flying your way? Turning around in shock, Duryodhana saw Lakshmana's severed head rolling toward his feet. Furious, humiliated, terrified of defeat, and fearing for his own life all at once, Duryodhana roared, Hey, Kaurava army, don't face him one by one. All of you together, attack him at once and kill him. But by then, Abhimanyu had already broken through the 5th ring. Before he could cross the 6th, the entire Kaurava army surrounded Abhimanyu's chariot. Still, he neither slowed nor lost that constant smile on his lips. Despite the massing warriors, they could not even get close to his chariot, nor could their arrows reach him. One, however, was managing to shoot arrows at Abhimanyu with impressive speed, Karna's younger brother. Determined to remove this obstacle first, Abhimanyu invoked a mantra and launched an arrow straight at Karna's brother's throat. Suddenly, another arrow cut Abhimanyu's missile off course. Abhimanyu could not tell where that arrow had come from. He tried again, shooting another arrow at Karna's brother, but once more, a second arrow intervened and deflected it. Then, in the blink of an eye, one of their arrows came whizzing straight at Abhimanyu's chest. Abhimanyu caught it with his hand, baffled at where it had been fired from. Looking in that direction, he saw a distant chariot racing toward him. It was none other than Ashwathama, Dronacharya's son. Friends, the next episode's content will rise to another level. Don't miss it. Let's meet again next Saturday at the same time. Order my Mahabharata book right now. The links are in the description below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do so immediately. Till then, take care. Bye.